Hola, ¿qué tal? Soy Javi de mikeandjavi.com. Esto es English Listening. Bienvenidos. En el vídeo de hoy, Mike nos va a hablar sobre los teléfonos móviles y la interacción social. Así que, Mike, tu turno.
Hello, welcome back to English Listening. As usual, I am Mike from mikeandjavi.com. Today I want to talk about the change that technology has had on society and the way that we interact with people in just the last 10 or so years. And I really want to talk about how I can remember the transition that we made into the internet age, as many of you can remember, but some of the younger viewers really don't have a lot of experience with. And for example, just going back to my high school years, we didn't have cell phones in the 90s. They weren't as ubiquitous, as ever present as they are today. And I think we had beepers. I didn't have a beeper. Drug dealers had beepers. That was kind of the idea that went around the schools. You know, if you had a beeper and you were in school, you were a drug dealer, which was not true, but that was the assumption. Also, people in medicine and medical fields had beepers. So, but that was pretty much the only way that you can connect remotely in any way in the 90s, unless you were a person who actually had one of these big, gigantic cell phones that were available as far back as the 80s, but they were only really available to people who had lots of money, and that wasn't people I was surrounded by. So it's interesting to see, as I went from my high school years through the 90s, and I ended up graduating from college by 2000. Even in those years, when I was walking around my university campus, you would see people actually walking and engaging each other. This is something that is lost to the generations that were born, that really kind of started to experience social interaction in the late 90s, all till today. The millennials, I guess they call them, the people born after 2000, have a whole different experience and understanding of social interaction with technology than people who were born before that period. It just blows my mind when I go out places and I see tons of people walking around and staring at their cell phone. They're in social situations, but they're being antisocial. Or maybe some people would say they're being hypersocial. They're so social on a global sense, or an internet connected sense. They're very much present. But when it comes to interpersonalization skills, being face to face with people, and knowing how to put down those things, I've noticed that it's just people are just not doing this anymore, or not doing it to the extent that they used to do it, that I can remember. And it's just, to me, it's kind of sad that there are positives of technology and the way that it connects people across the world. I met Javi through the internet, and we are doing our language exchange and everything. It would be impossible if we didn't have a way of doing web chat. And there's tons of people all over the world who are connecting, that are meeting each other every day and helping each other. There's so many great things. But when you take the educational, when you see it from an educational standpoint, it's a very effective way to actually communicate ideas and to learn. And so it's very important from that standpoint. But the problem that I see is that people don't really use it for just educational purposes. They use it to basically keep tabs on everything all day long, and to be connected to people who are far away, sometimes at the cost of being connected to the people that are standing right in front of them. And the thing that kind of scares me is that I think there is a generation of people that really don't know what the experience was like before we had this hyper-connected kind of society, this hyper-connected internet, way of socializing. And I think there's a skill set that is being lost because it's so easy to just look at your iPhone or look at your Android device or your tablet and kind of lose yourself on the internet versus going out and meeting people and interacting and learning the old-fashioned way, the way we were doing it forever before that. So I don't want to come off as anti-internet. I'm a very pro-internet person. I've seen some of the great things that have been possible because of the internet. Communities that never knew how to connect have found ways to actually communicate. That's a definite plus, as I said before. The educational aspects, the scientific aspects of the internet are just unbelievable and effective in helping us to advance scientifically, and we can do tons of things with our connectivity. But I just want to remind people to put it down sometimes. Put down this technology and go out and meet people. Go out and talk to the people that are in your neighborhood face to face. And I know that it's a lot harder than actually waking up and grabbing your phone and tapping a status update and putting in a status update on your Facebook page or Twitter or your Google Plus or whatever. But I think that I think that it's really important. I think we're a social species, and we try to find ways to connect with people all the time. But we have to remember that there has to be a personal connection there if you really want to have a truly rewarding and a fulfilling life experience. So get out there and talk to people face to face. Put the phones down, please. And I'll talk to you guys later.
Muy bien, pues vamos con las preguntas. Primera, ¿tenía teléfono Mike cuando estaba en secundaria? Segunda pregunta, ¿qué dice Mike que percibía cuando andaba por el campus en sus años de universidad? Tercera pregunta, ¿qué palabra usa Mike para describir cómo la gente usa en la actualidad sus teléfonos móviles? Y cuarta y última pregunta, ¿qué cosas le gustan a Mike sobre la conectividad en Internet? Bien, pues las respuestas a estas preguntas están justo debajo de este vídeo, donde por cierto está el espacio de comentarios para que podáis usarlo como creáis conveniente. Además os invito a suscribiros a nuestro canal y a visitar Mike and Javi para ver todos nuestros vídeos, nuestros blogs textuales y algunos recursos para el aprendizaje de idiomas. Gracias por vuestra atención, hasta pronto.